Hey there, you guys. So I've had several people reach out to me asking, how can you create boards on Pinterest? So I have already created a video showing how to do it on mobile, but I figured some people are using computers or using a desktop. And so the way you would create a board on your mobile is going to be a little bit different than how you would create a board on desktop, or at least it looks different. So the steps are going to be kind of similar, but it's going to look a little bit different. So I figured let me go ahead and make this video to show you how you can actually create boards. So before we even begin, first things first, you have to know that your Pinterest account does not already come with boards created for you. Remember, Pinterest is just getting to know you, and they're not going to create the boards for you. They don't know what type of content you're going to be publishing. They don't know what type of content you're going to be curating for your ideal audience. So I want you guys to think about your boards as a category or a facet of your business, and think about this in terms of how you can actually attract your ideal audience. So think about the different categories that your business has, right? Or the different facets or the different things that can actually describe the type of interest that your ideal audience would have. So now going back to the Pinterest marketing workbook, Pinning for Winning, or even the activities that we did in the Facebook group, you guys, where I had you actually go in and do exercises on how to find your ideal keywords, right? So now that you know how to find your keywords, you want to make sure that your board has been optimized. What do I mean by that? You want to make sure that you have actually included your keywords in your board name. Why is that so important, you guys? People do not just follow to follow if they don't know what they're following, right? So think about it on any type of platform that there is. If you have followers, they're following because they have a mutual interest, okay? So if your board names are unclear, they're uncertain, they don't know what's in it for them. So the best thing that you want to think about is when you're naming your board, think about the type of content, the type of pins that you will be placing inside that board. So your board is going to be the category of your business or the facet of your ideal client that you're trying to attract. And inside of that, right? Think about your board as more like a folder, right? Like when you use a folder, you're like back in school or even a notebook, right? So like let's say you had a notebook titled math or a folder titled math or reading or English, right? All type of content related to that would be found inside that folder or that notebook. So this is how your board is actually going to be set up. So your board is going to include all things that are relevant to that specific subject. Makes sense? So remember, with Pinterest, right? Pinterest is all about relevancy. Now, here's the thing, you guys. When it comes to Pinterest, it's not about you. It's about your ideal audience, which should actually be great news for many of you. Like, I know many people don't want to focus solely on themselves. Many people aren't trying to become the quote unquote influencer, right? So, Pinterest itself is the top of the funnel, and it's how you can actually build an audience, attract them, and drive them to your website. So every single thing that you do on Pinterest is going to be for your ideal audience. This ain't got nothing to do with you, y'all, which is going to make this so freaking easy. This is why I have my Pinterest strategy down to a matter of minutes, because it's not about me, you guys. Every single thing I do it for my ideal audience. I keep it short, I keep it simple, and it works. So here we are on the home page. So if you just log into pinterest.com and let's say you're already logged into your account, right? Your home feed is going to look very similar to this. As you can see, I have like some pictures of some nails, some makeup. These are the type of pins that my ideal audience interacts with. Why? Because I'm interacting with it, right? So I found things that my ideal audience is interested in, and then that's the type of content that I curate as well as create. So what Pinterest does, and they just recently announced a third thing, but let me talk about the first two things. So what Pinterest does, right, is based upon your boards, the title of your boards, and based upon the type of pins that you interact with, it's going to curate new pins to inspire you. So when you look at your home feed should be very similar to the type of content that you are either pinning or the type of content that you are interacting with. So if you click on a pin, it should show you a similar pin to that. Now, just within like the last 7 to 10 days or so, you guys, Pinterest also stated what they're going to do is something a little bit different. It's because remember, Pinterest is not like your typical social media platform, it's a discovery tool. So, what they're also going to do is they're going to start to curate different types of pins in your home feed that are not going to be based upon your board name. They're not going to be based upon the pin titles, but they're going to look a little bit deeper into you and find the different interests that you have. So you might not have interacted with it before, but it's going to have something that's kind of like a similar interest that you would actually have. So like let's just say that we are in the beauty industry, right? I interact with a bunch of makeup, I interact with a bunch of eyeshadows, I interact with a bunch of lipsticks, right? We all know makeup and skincare goes hand in hand, right? Like in order to have flawless makeup, you got to have flawless skin. You can't hide those dimples, right? So what Pinterest is going to start doing is because they see that I have an interest in makeup, they're going to start to throw in some skincare into my home feed because they know that, yeah, that's going to be a similar interest that I have. So they're going based upon all of the data that they've collected from other users and people who have similar interests as yours, and they're going to start to find similar industries that you would also be interested in. So for you as a business owner, this is going to be great because even though your ideal audience might not specifically have an interest in your specific industry, they could still discover you. So that is something that's going to be rolling out pretty soon. But now let's get to this video because I didn't talk too much already, right? So I'm on the home feed. Now what you want to do is you want to go over to your profile. So in order to actually create a board, you guys, you have to be in your boards section, okay? So I'm on the home feed. As you'll see, you have where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Okay. Where y'all can y'all see my mouse? Because I can't see it. Okay, I see it. So see on the left-hand side, you have business, you have create, you have analytics, you have ads. Then on the right-hand side, you have the magnifying glass, which is like a search, the notification bell, you have the message icon, alerts icon, and then you should have your picture or your brand logo. So whatever image you uploaded as your profile image, that's going to be on the far right, and you're going to click on that to get to your profile. So now that you've clicked on that to get to your profile, right, yours might look a little blank right now. Don't try to base yours based upon how mine look. Remember, I've been doing this for a while. But you're going to see here, if you scroll down a little bit, it will say activity, community, boards, and pins. So you're going to click on boards. Now, for those of you who are interested, like, why do I have this thing scrolling, right? I actually have featured boards, which you could set up to where you can highlight 3 to 5 different boards that you want people to see once they hit your profile. It's just like a cute little way to personalize your profile, but it's not mandatory. But you guys can actually see my board titles too, just in case you're curious, like, well, how the hell are your boards titled? So as you can see, I have a board titled Beauty Hacks and Self-Care. I have a board titled Makeup and Makeup Looks. I have a board titled Skincare and Skincare Products. As you can see, those boards are they're very clear what they're about, right? So I want you to really think about what is in that actual board or what you will put in that board before you create it. And if you have to, go back to the Pinterest marketing workbook, get your keywords, hop in the group if you got questions about keywords, you guys, and make sure that you properly title your boards because if we don't know what your board is about, we ain't gonna follow you. We ain't even gonna discover it, boo boo. So you gotta know what this is. So now let's hit on the actual boards. Okay, and why is my computer slow? Okay, so now that we've clicked on boards, this is what you're gonna see. So On the far left hand side, you're going to see where it says create board. I want you to go there. So I know you guys are looking at my screen like, what is all that other extra stuff? So some people have actually invited me to join a board and to collaborate with them, like pinning my pins inside their boards. I haven't accepted any of these yet, but as you start to pin on the platform and you get very comfortable with it, certain people will actually ask you to collaborate, and it's a great way to grow your business as well. Okay. So anyway, back to this, we're going to create board. So now from this point on, it looks very similar to how we did it on a mobile. Okay, so now we've created a board. Next step is going to be our board name. So remember, take your keywords and put your board name here. So for this exercise, I am just going to put test. I am also going to mark this board as secret because I'm only doing this for the purpose of this video. Now, as you can see, it says dates optional. This can help you plan. This is a relatively new feature, you guys. Personally, I do not use it. The reason being is the content that I put up on Pinterest is going to be evergreen. So it's going to continue to generate leads and traffic throughout the test of time. So I don't feel like putting an expiry date on it would be beneficial to me. But if you do have seasonal items and stuff like that, you can definitely play around with it and see if it works for you. All right, so now we're going to hit create. So this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so at the top in the bold is going to be the brand name, and then you're going to see your icon because you, or like your profile image, because you're the one that's pinning to that. But if you have other people contributing to that, other collaborators, you'll also see their image. Why is this taking so long to load, you guys? Hold on. Okay, there we go. For the purpose of this video, I was like, wait a minute, let me pause it, speed this up right quick. All right, so you got test, which is the board name, right? And you can see this is a secret board. Now what you want to do is you want to go over to the pencil icon, and that's going to be your edit, okay? So now you have to go back, and I want you to put your board description as well as your board category. Why are these so important? Because sometimes your board name might not do it for certain audiences. So sometimes it helps to give a little bit more information, especially if you're dealing like with a business that kind of has like different facets. Like let's say we're talking about skincare, right? Maybe it's a board for skincare. In the description, I could put skincare products for acne, skincare products for oily skin, skincare products for teenagers. You see where I'm going with this? So you can actually put a little bit more information, like 1 to 2 sentences, or even more if you want to properly describe what that board is. So if anybody scrolls across that board, then they could actually read more about it and determine whether or not they want to follow that specific board. So one of the other differences between Pinterest and the other social media platforms is you can follow a person or a profile, or you can follow just that specific board. Like let's say you don't care about the rest of the stuff that they post and you just want to know what's in that board. You can actually follow that, you guys. And brings me to my next point is you actually want to create a category for that board. So like I said, we're you different categories, but you want to pick the one that best describes what that board is about. Okay. And for this exercise, I'm just going to put test, okay? So the board's name is test, the board description is test, and the category. So why is the category so important? Because remember, Pinterest is a discovery tool, you guys. So there'll be times when Pinterest will actually refer people to your specific board. So they can do it for your profile or that actual board. So they can be like, hey, you have a board very similar to this. Check out this board. So this way you're still going to end up getting more eyes on your boards and your content. So you want to make sure that when you are creating a board, you want to go back to edit it and then add the board description as well as the board category, you guys. And then one last little note. Okay, remember this board is set to secret because I'm doing this just for the purpose of this exercise. And I highly recommend that if you have any boards that are irrelevant to your target audience. Okay, so know who your target audience is. If this board is just some personal interest and they ain't got nothing to do with them, you guys, go ahead and make that board secret so that way it doesn't show on your profile. But the last thing you could do is the personalization. So if you are curating content for your audience, right, where you're going and you're finding related content that they would be interested in, you can actually select that Pinterest finds content similar to this board. So that way it makes it easier for you to curate content. So this is the type of content that you will see in your home feed. So this is completely up to you whether or not you want to set it up to personalize your home feed for this type of board. So with each and every board, you guys, board name, board description, and category. Where make sure you put your keywords in there so people know exactly what it's about. Pinterest will push it out to more people, and you're going to get discovered. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you got any questions. Drop a comment in the comment section. Hop into the Facebook group, ask questions, email me, whichever you prefer. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.